I'm Steve Muth, and I'm a member of the governing board of directors here at Beartooth Billings Clinic. I've been on the board about 20 years now. Yep. Back when we were still occupying the old facility.
Well, I came to work at Carbon County Memorial Hospital and Nursing Home on November 1st of 1990, which at the time was a 22-bed hospital and a 30-bed nursing home. And at that time, I came here to be the director of nurses of long-term care.
The old building was built in roughly 1952, 1953. It was built with Hill-Burton funds, which was a federal program after World War II. We operated many years with many exemptions as to requirements that were necessary for the type of equipment that you'd have to have and the type of facility that you'd have to have.
We were able to provide great care there, but you know, there was definitely some challenges at times. The emergency room literally was a room, you know, that was hard to get in and out of with gurneys.
The operating room, the emergency rooms were too small. There weren't enough of them. We had asbestos throughout the facility.
Many people didn't even know where the hospital was, especially travelers and tourists. They had a hard time finding it. And the last thing you want when someone is sick or you have a sick child or in distress is to be, you know, trying to find the hospital.
It became very apparent that as medicine was moving forward and healthcare was moving forward, that Beartooth needed to look at a new facility as well.
We made the decision to we were going to bite the bullet and buy some land and see what we could do to build a replacement facility.
Fortunately, we were working with the assistance of Billings Clinic, one of the tertiary facilities in Billings, who was very, very dedicated to rural health.
Ultimately, we chose Billings Clinic as our partner in this project, in this revitalization of healthcare in Red Lodge.
One of the constraints that we had to operate under is we're a nonprofit public organization. We get no tax money from the city, the county, or the state.
We had to go to the community in order for them to have some buy-in to our facility. Our partners weren't going to just come and help us build a facility if our community wasn't supporting it.
We had very generous donors here throughout our community. There was no one person, no one organization. It was a lot of hard work, everybody working to the same goal.
The board and the community are very proud of this hospital, and they worked very hard to make it, you know, as nice on the outside and visible exterior as it is with the care you can get on the inside. A lot of our local artists kind of help make that happen with a lot of the photography exhibits and things like that.
Having this new facility where we have state-of-the-art lab and radiology, a physical therapy department, we're able to provide the opportunity for patients that maybe have to go to Billings for a hip or knee replacement. They're able to come back home sooner.
Post-acute care, swing bed care, hospice, home health, administering public health services, the large rehab unit that we have. All of those things come together to keep our community in synergy with their health.
We have X-ray, we have a radiology department, so we provide CAT scans, X-rays, MRIs.
Not only do we have a much faster and better CAT scanner that's in use 24/7, we also have the ability to do ultrasound exams on multiple times a week, as well as MRI imaging on a weekly basis.
We have labs so that we can do lab testing here. We have, I think, the best PT department with one of the best views in the world. We also have occupational therapy and speech therapy, just to name a few.
It's small enough we deal with a lot of our friends and family and neighbors, and I think that keeps it very real. It's not that anyone's going to get better or worse care. I think it just changes, you know, the conversation a bit.
A few weeks ago, we were instrumental in saving the life of an individual who couldn't be transferred to Billings Clinic because they were all full. St. V's was all full. There weren't any emergency rooms. There weren't any intensive care units available. So we made do with what we had here and saved this gentleman's life.
On Monday about noon, I told Lori, my wife, I said, I got to go in. I just can't breathe anymore. When I woke up, I noticed my children, some of my children were here from Washington State, and that's never a good sign. Apparently, it was not a good chance for me to make it. I mean, when I came in, I had congestive heart failure, I had chronic respiratory failure, then I went into AFib. My respiration was like 60. Just couldn't get much worse. All these docs pitched in. They couldn't send me away. Every place was full.
Because of the new facility and support from the community, we can provide a lot of services that the old hospital we could not have done. At the old hospital, we could not have provided the level of care that we gave Jimmy. At this hospital, we were able to do that and keep him close to home, family, and friends.
They basically took a room that didn't exist, which would be intensive care or whatever, and they made one. And I got to tell you, the care that I received there was second to none. And this is not an exaggeration. I felt bad about leaving. It was like leaving a family.
I know firsthand, as well as Jimmy does, at how kind and caring and amazing our staff is at taking care of each and every patient that they come in contact with.
You know, our physicians and nurse practitioners and nurses and technicians, they're second to none. And the caring that comes along with people that choose to live in these small communities and dedicate their lives to healthcare, it's pretty unparalleled.
I think, I'm partial, that the excellence and that longevity is somewhat unique to Red Lodge. We have nursing staff that have been here for 40 years and are still providing care.
Perhaps the best thing I've seen is watching people grow here, watching some of our CNAs go to nursing school or some of our nurses go to nurse practitioner school. Having medical students come in here now and they're practicing providers in Montana.
Well, the praise of our staff is well deserved. I mean, that we couldn't open the doors, we couldn't exist without the staff that we have. And I mean, not just the people who are directly providing the medical services here, the doctors, the nurses, the lab technicians, the people who clean this facility, who maintain this facility.
In the rural environment, that's what it takes to run a facility. The rural environment is unique in all aspects.
Without the hospital, we'd have a medical clinic. And for anything that had any seriousness at all, you'd have to go to Billings.
To take someone away from their community, away from their family, and send them an hour away adds an additional stress to everyone involved. Being able to provide community care close to home just gives people better health care.
It changed my life forever, and I do mean forever. And I just absolutely would not be here without them. And so I owe them my life.
I've always believed in rural health and that every person in the United States, whether they live in a rural or urban area, should have access to the best health care that can be provided for them.
What sticks out to me for the past 10 years is the consistency and the resilience that this organization has been able to show. We have wonderful leadership. We have a wonderful staff. We've had a great staff from day one.
I think we've been very fortunate to have strong hospital leadership, with Kelly Evans as the CEO and a very active board.
It's one of the proudest things that I have done in my life is being able to work at providing this for my community. I think it's one of the great ways I have been able to give back.
This medical facility provides a great deal to the city of Red Lodge and to our surrounding communities.
We're the largest employer, we're the largest private payroll, and we're a stabilizer for Red Lodge and for Carbon County.
We absolutely, we need this hospital. We're growing every day, and it seems like, and people are coming in from everywhere. And I got to tell you, man, number one, it's a beautiful facility, and number two, there's just great people there.
1,300 critical access hospitals in the United States. And this facility is consistently ranked in the top 100 of all those critical access hospitals in the country. Standard we have to maintain here is of the highest quality medical care that we can possibly deliver. And we have people who are dedicated to seeing to it that that high quality of care is delivered, and then we have people delivering it.
You know, we've come really far in the 18 years I've been here, but I think every January 1st is a new January 1st, and you can't really just rest on your laurels.
And unfortunately, our job is not done. We need to continue. I think given the current situation in the world, we are finding out just how important local healthcare is and how important Beartooth is to the Red Lodge community. Who knows what's in the next 10 years after this last year, but we do know that medicine and technology is constantly changing. It's always changing, and so we try to the best of our ability to make sure that we stay in the forefront of that. We want to make sure that we are here for our community when they need us. I think about the ribbon cutting and when we came in and when we were building this facility and all of the things that we thought that these walls would do, and the care and the compassion that these walls would deliver. And I think that we have successfully done that for the last 10 years, and am pretty confident that we will continue to do that for the next 10 years and more.